What's going on, Juco?
We back. It's Friday. We just been getting money all week. Like, I don't know if we should be wearing the ski mask today. I don't know if we should always keep the ski mask on. You know, like, I'm just in one of those moods where we just been dominating, man. We've been profitable all week long. I'm gonna show you all. We have nothing to hide. But just like we said, this Friday is going to be an even better day because we're going to dive more into our educational aspect on this Friday. For those of you who want to learn how to trade, you're going to get an opportunity to be able to learn some more on today. So I'm happy for that opportunity for you. I'm glad that we're here and ready to assist you on all levels so that you can become the best trader possible. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, where do we start on today? We got about 28 minutes until the market opens. And while we sitting here, let's just take an opportunity to look at the charts for a second. We're looking at the daily chart, and does something look pretty familiar to what we've been discussing all week long to you? I mean, when you take a look at the charts, is it anything that you're seeing or from what we've stated, that looks familiar to you? If not, I totally get it. I understand. But if it looks familiar to you, then put in the chat what it is that you see and what you see that's happening and taking place. Because if you see it and you know has happened and it has taken place, then you should be putting a W in the chat. All right. So, first order of business, if you see it and you put a W in the chat, we're still stuck in, although we're in this bullish expansion, right? Like, I just want you to understand this for a second, right? We're in this bullish expansion and price just starts to consolidate. So let's just do a little bit of homework real quick. What does it mean when we're in a bullish expansion? Okay? A bullish expansion happens when an asset prices rises quickly and strongly in trading. Bullish means the market is going up. Expansion means price movement is getting bigger. This usually means a lot of buyers have entered the market and pushing the price up with great force. Great force. So if we just take a look at these here, right? What do you think we're in as far as ES? On the daily. We're looking at this on the daily. Having a better idea as to where we are on this bullish expansion to give you an opportunity to be able to put yourself in a better position when it comes to trading, like we've said this countless and countless of times, right? We've said this. So we're in this bullish expansion. I'm gonna drop down to a lower time frame, 15-minute time frame, so you could be able to see we did take out this 4-hour equilibrium here. This is where we're resting. And look at here. We had sell side sitting right here, right? We take out sell side liquidity. That was last night. Some of you will probably sleep during this time frame when sell side was taken out, but we said that this is a potential target. So sell side liquidity was taken out. We're now breaking this 4-hour equilibrium here, looking to be able to come back towards this previous week low. That's our next key level, this previous week low. We have a 4-hour order block that's right here, this bullish order block that was able to have us bullish on the week at the start, right? This is back here, back in on the 8th. But I would say the real move happened, on the 8th, about 11:30 that morning. Get this bullish order block here, and price comes all the way back down here. Look at that time frame. On the 17th, we're coming back around to this 4-hour order. So it's very important that we pay attention to this here significantly. And the reason why I'm saying that is because although you have buy side liquidity that's still up here, right? You got buy side liquidity that's still here, and we didn't touch this none for this week, right? Of what was left. Look at this buy side liquidity that's here. We didn't touch this none this week. So because none of this got touched this week at all, period, and we've been talking about how bearish we were bearish on yesterday. We're slightly bearish again on today, if looking to be able to sweep previous week low. And what I'm waiting for is a sweep on previous week low, and then we start trending back above midnight open. That's what I'm looking for on today. So what is your initial bias on today? What is it that you're looking to see? What is it that you're trading on today? You could go ahead and drop that in the chat, right? This is yesterday's midnight open that's here. But as we drop down to the 5-minute time frame, you could kind of just see how it played itself out, right? It's very beautiful. We took shorts on gold last night. We're going to take a look at gold while we're sitting here waiting for the market to open. Let's go ahead and take a look at gold. So gold last night, and this is what we're going to be here. You can see where our trade was on last night, where we took our longs. So if you want to know what that looked like, there you go. You can see that trade that was on last night. And we got out about right here. We did leave a runner, right? But once price started retracing back, I should have held, but I did not want to go. You could have seen we would have broke even, literally. It would have wicked us out of the trade, and then price reversed and went even higher. So, you know, by that point, it was what it was. We made what we made, got out of the trade, and did this another day. I think this was about a $621 trade. That was right here. Not too much at all, period. But oatmeal is better than no meal, right? Oatmeal is better than no meal. No meal. So here we are with it. Here we are with it. What I'm going to do is, while we're looking at this, we're gonna look at this from a 15-minute. And look, this is what I was going for, y'all. Y'all saw that we shorted gold the night before, right? We shorted gold the night before, and we went long on gold to catch that long on last night. Beautiful trade. Next week, and when I go to gold on a higher time frame, like I'm gonna go to it on the daily, just to show you all what I'm looking at here. We lose that level of support again, and we're coming back around this 50% level here. We're coming back around this 50% zone. I want to tell you this. I am still looking to be able to acquire gold at 32.14. I don't care what nobody is telling you. I'm looking to buy gold and purchase once we take out sell side. Once we take out sell side and sweet sell side, I'm gonna be acquiring gold at 32.14. At 32.14, that's my initial entry when it comes to gold. Silver, I mean, it's the same thing for me for silver too as well. If you want to see where my entry would be on silver, I could literally show you that right now. Today is Friday. We're not in no hurry. We're not. Thank God it's Friday. Look, this is where we should be acquiring silver right here on this pullback. Looking at this 79% level here is a very strong level, because you have a significant level of support here. This is where buyers stepped in here. This is where institutions start purchasing here, right? So this is something interesting to be able to keep in mind. Move up to the weekly. And you can see it's in our sweet spot, right? This is pretty much our sweet spot. But we see that it is breaking below that. So we want to start seeing some support here. And then can we retake this trend line of what we had on the bodies of silver? Because we lost support there. So that's something of significance that we want to pay close attention to. It's about 9:13, 17 minutes away from the market open. We're taking a look at silver this morning, and we're seeing what's happening with silver. Also, let's go through our options list while we do have the chance to be able to go through that, because there's some things it is that I'm looking to see. So let's have our stock market analysis real quick and go over that. And the first order of business of what I'm thinking about is Nvidia. So we're looking at Nvidia, and guys, I got this out on the weekly. Let me drop down to the daily so you can be able to see what I'm talking about. It looked like we was getting ready to have a breakout on Nvidia. Did that not look like it was a breakout that was getting ready to happen on Nvidia right here? We was looking for a break, possibly a retest, and then we was going to be looking to take an entry on that. But that did not happen. That did not play itself out at all, period. The market started pulling itself back. So once the market started pulling itself back, you get rejected here. There was no reason for us to enter into this trade at all, period, right? Now, one thing is, with that rejection, we could have taken puts here to see if we could have carried this all the way down to around possibly 28, finding, taking liquidity here at 27.05. That was a strong possibility, but we didn't get that. Taking a look at Meta, you see how Meta has done so far. Look at that double bottom pattern on Meta. Oh my goodness. Meta still have room to go higher. On this pullback, this is where I would be looking for calls and probably be taking them at around $39. Meta still has room to grow. So we're going to be paying attention to that on today. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla has been getting hammered for the past few days with Tesla. We see with Microsoft, hopefully we could get Microsoft to pull back here, creating a double bottom and then start to take off. We would love to be a part of that with Microsoft, but that's something that's going to take a while to be able to play itself out. We got a double top pattern here that has formed on TSMX. That's something that we want to keep in mind and take a look at. MSTX. Look at the bear flag that is creating. This may still have potential to go even lower. Our Amazon creating its own bull flag. Amazon look like it's pulling back too as well. Netflix may be a buy around this area in discount where Netflix is. Something that we want to keep your eye on. Google is now pulling back too as well. So with Google, let's do this real quick. And we're looking at that on a daily. Let's drop down to the 4-hour. Google is looking like it's getting ready to lose its support here. If Google loses this, then oh boy, you'll see a nice pullback down to about the $90 area for Google. So we have some other ones that we're taking a look at too as well, like TTD, and we'll go over these a little bit later of what we're looking at. But you see TTD here, it looked as though it was getting ready to have a breakout, and that failed too as well. On TTD, it's just resting right here, got rejected right here around that $20 mark, pulled back to 19, came back again to about $20, around $20 even, $19.98, and gets rejected again, and now price is sitting at around $19.17. In the pre-market, it's at $18.80, so it is trading a little bit lower in the pre-market. So You see that rejection that has happened there. So no breakouts on this at all, period. So we're going to be taking a look at that throughout the day. Let's take a look at Bitcoin futures. And, well, would you look at here? Bitcoin back at 62,935. And we're just looking at this on the 4-hour chart. Let's see what we have for Bitcoin on today. Do Bitcoin look a little bit bullish today, or will it be bearish today? You could possibly see Bitcoin coming down here to this 61,780 mark, something that I will be paying close attention to. 62,390, that could be a possibility too as well. Those are some things that I'm looking to possibly happen. How many of you had traded YM? We're gonna take a look at YM, but look at this slight recovery by oil. And I was talking about this, right? Oil had lost support. If you go back to this, oil has slightly lost support. I'm gonna move this out of the way. But oil has slightly lost support, right? Traded at around as low as $66.34. And look at the recovery it has had since then. You know what that tells me? Just overall, do you know what that tells me? That tells me that, hey, there's a strong possibility. There's a very strong possibility that the market could start seeing a real significant pullback, and you start seeing oil rise very significantly. And one thing that's going to better help give me an indicator on that is what? Me paying attention to the DXY. The DXY, which is your dollar, of course. If you're taking a look at the dollar right now, and we're looking at this on the daily, that rise and then this pullback here, and the dollar is getting ready to break out of this, what I call a parallel channel. Here, I can show this to you here. Now let's drop to a lower time frame like the 4-hour, so you can have a better idea as to what it is of what I'm talking about. So seeing this, right? You have rejection here. Price does not come back to this area at all. Back at 101,475, as high as 101.28. That's about it. But it got rejections here at these relative equal highs that's there, and price just continued to reject all the way down to $99.35 or $99.98. I'm sorry. And now it's just right here at this midline point, looking to be able to go back into this area here, trading at 101 at $101. So that means if this is bullish and going to continue on an upward trend, that means my indices are going to be what? Let's go to the Nasdaq. What is happening with the Nasdaq? It is pulling back, right? Look at these relative equal lows that's here. Here, we'll just point at these with the arrow. You see these relative equal lows that are right there? Price comes right back and trades right back to these relative equal lows here. That's where it's coming to. And you can see indices are on a pullback. That means that we may have continuation on bearishness based upon looking at the dollar and looking at oil. You see oil is on the rise, right? And the DXY, which is the dollar, which is king, what people do not understand, look at this. The dollar is coming right back to test this 100 level, this 101. 101 level, that's right here. So if you are a trader, and we have all this in our newsletter, this is why I put this in the newsletter. So those of you who want to get this weekly newsletter, you will be able to know which markets are coupled together and plays off of who. So therefore, when you go and you take your trades, you're not blind as to what is happening throughout the week. And that's how you'll be able to be successful. Even with precious metals, it's the same way. How did we play precious metals this week? We knew when to take our shorts and we knew when to take our long positions. It was simple. But all of this is just based off of knowing what is happening within the overall futures market itself. Same thing for Bitcoin, right? Those of you who are my Bitcoin traders, you kind of have an understanding and an idea as to what is happening with Bitcoin. So when you trade Bitcoin, I highly don't advise you to trade Bitcoin futures. I highly advise you, if you are, I'm not giving no advice, but if you're a person like me who wants to trade Bitcoin, I use my personal Blowfin account with live capital. Not using no prop firm capital at all, period, when I am trading these assets here. And I'll dive a little bit more deeper in depth with these assets, because you have to be able to understand these assets too as well. Paying attention to the total three, paying attention to the entire crypto market cap, understanding USDT dominance. You got to be able to understand all of that and the DXY to be able to trade crypto the way that you need to actually trade crypto. Most people don't understand that either. And so we want to provide that info to you. So let's go right back to ES. We got about 3 minutes until the market opens so that we can see what we have going on. We're going to go back to the 15-minute where we had a chart dressed up just a little bit for you. We are trading below midnight open. Do you understand how important, even though this is not a key level, right? Like we say this time and time again, midnight open is not a key level. It is not a key level. But the information that you need from midnight open is this. Trading, looking for longs back up to midnight open, we have a 70% chance for that to happen today. Oh yeah, this is like next level information right here. New level information that you probably, you're not going to find this information, this data, tested data out there like that. But we have about 70% chance for us to trade back up to midnight open today. So that means that we should be looking for an opportunity for longs once we sweep previous week low. Sweeping previous week low and taking that back to midnight open is a strong possibility for us on today. And that's the setup of what we're going to be looking for. Now understand this. If you are above midnight open, right? If you are above midnight open, that's a 58% chance that you could short back to midnight open. So we got about 1 minute until the market opens. We have taken our sell side. Let's see if we could sweep this 4-hour order block and start to look for longs in this area and in this zone, and we take it back to midnight open. with the potential high being like overall being previous day low. The market is now open. Do you think we go there? I don't necessarily think we go there. I don't think so. The market is now open. We're just going to be a little bit patient to see how this plays out. So if I go to the 3-minute chart, right, and just taking a look at this on the 3-minute chart, what do you think I'm looking for here on this 3-minute chart? If anything, I'm wanting us to be as patient as possible and not rush into anything at all. We're still in this bearish order block, people. And that is here. If I can. That's here. We're now trading in this discount PD array, this 4-hour discount PD array. If we're able to come into this green box here, we'll be in this 4-hour discount PD array, in which I think we are headed. So one of the things that I'm looking to see is that sweep on liquidity. And I want to show you something real quick for those who wanted to know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show you something. This here is my New Level Academy ICT ebook. Those of you who want this, I will be having this available for you. We will be dropping a link in the description starting on next week for you all. But I want to read this to you so you can be able to understand. Large financial institutions cannot simply buy thousands and lots of market price without causing excessive slippage. To fulfill major buy orders, the algorithm deliberately engineers a short-term drop designed to pierce through those key retail swing lows. As retail stop losses trigger, they convert directly into market sell orders, supplying the exact counterparty volume that institutional algorithms need to fill massive long positions. So if we're looking for massive long positions to be filled, right, and price is trending down right now, it's going on a what? Liquidity hunt. And once it goes on this liquidity hunt and it sweeps liquidity that's down here in this discount PD array, you can now start looking for loans and a breakout above loans. And it's like murder she wrote after that. Look, we're now coming down here. We're trading in this discount PD array, just like we said. I gotta figure out which accounts I want to trade today. We're here at this 4-hour order block getting ready to sweep it. So if we could go here to the 4 hours so you could be able to see what I'm talking about. Here's that 4-hour order block here. Also got liquidity that's down here at 74.09 that you want to pay close attention to at 74.09. So it's something that I will be keeping my eye on. Even though, so since we're in a deep discount zone area already, I'm not looking for short continuation. And I'm looking at the 4-hour chart here. We're already in a discount area here, right? So us being in this discount PD array, I'm not looking for continuation on shorts. I wanted us to come out here and take out previous week low, get a sweep of previous week low, and I want to look for longs back to midnight open. So if I go to the 15-minute chart, you can see us trading in this 4-hour order bullish order block, getting ready to take that out. We actually swept that a little bit, and we're looking to be able to take out previous week low. I want to see us start forming some level of support here, and then look for a breakout back to midnight open. That's the trade that I'm looking for on today. So if you were able to see what we showed within that liquidity sweep, let's see if that plays itself out, along with us being able to get this setup here. Look at this setup. So you're looking for longs back above midnight open. And that happens 69% of the time. If you're a person who like to round it up, you can round it up. But that's just what I have my eyes set on for today. I don't know which account do we trade today. I'm just not sure. So right now we're just exercising some patience here. I really see no reason to engage as of yet. Let's take a look at YM. Oh, wow. Look at YM getting ready to recover already. Crazy move on YM this morning on the Dow. Pretty interesting, right? So if the Dow went on ahead and taking off, that means that the market could possibly be turning because we're in this discount zone. So let's go back to MES, and we're on our 2-minute chart. Let's see. Do we have a little bit of patience here? Okay, I like this displacement. So we're just a little bit focused here. I really do think because of the type of day it is, and because we have this bearish momentum happening right now, like, look, a lot of people probably would have got caught up in taking this long here because it was such strong displacement, right? Look at that. See on the 1 hour, I mean on the 1 minute, you got faked out, price pulls all the way back. Now, I would say the rookie version of myself would have definitely tried to take longs there. Okay, I need to log right back into my account. Okay, so Trader Veda is down. Wow, so Trader Veda is down currently right now. So we possibly won't be able to trade today. Here, let's see if it's happening inside of Trader Veda itself. No, I could actually log into TraderVate, but I can't log in on TradingView to be able to show you my executions. Okay, well that sucks. That sucks. We're starting to have some form of support here.
Order filled.
Let's take a shot at this. I wish I could show you all the executions on this. At 74, 847. $74, 8. What was it? 74.87. Okay, there we go. So this is the trade that I'm currently in. What I'm looking for is us to be able to take this back towards midnight open. A little bit here. Above this, probably I'll say probably slightly below. If we come here, slightly below this order block, so I would say this area right about here. It's kind of where we'll probably take off 50% of our position here, or probably 70% of our position here, 80%, maybe leave 20% of our position open towards midnight open, and possibly look for continuation after that. Something that we'll be paying attention to. So we're back above VWAP here. If you're looking at this on a 1 minute chart, we're back above VWAP. Let's take a look at it on a 5 minute so you can just see kind of how strong this is here. What do our statistics say when we trade this? I gave out some statistics earlier, and I told you, I said, hey, 70% of the time, right? If you, being a new level trader, this is the data that you get, right? When you get this type of data, this is what have you at a new level within your trading. When we're below midnight open, 69% of your loans can succeed back to midnight open. When you're below midnight open. Now, when you are above midnight open and you're looking for shorts, but we don't. Now, one thing I want you to understand, midnight open is not a key level, okay? Don't take this as it being a key level, because it's not. But just understand the importance of it and why I always use it to mark out every single trade, every single day on my chart, to know if we are above or below. We are first buyers, right, with this trade here. We could have waited for a little bit more confirmation. But we're in, and we have a pretty much idea and a target point. If I could go ahead and change this so that you could be able to see what I'm talking about. We have a little bit of a target point of what I'm looking for in this trade here. It's not about being greedy. It's not about us, you know, looking for 4 RR on this trade, right? It's not going to be too big, but we want to be a little bit patient and take profits where we have opportunity to take profits. I don't think this will be our only trade for today. That's at around 75.10. So 75.10, that's where we're looking to take off at least 80% of our position off the table. And I hate that trade evade is still down. Let's see if it's still down. Yeah, trade evade is still down, guys. So I can't show you my execution, but I did show you my exact entry point here at 74.8750 is my exact entry point, and where I'm taking 80% off of my position will be at 75.10.25. 75.10.25. I'll be taking 80% off of my position. So I'm treating this just as if I was trading like how we traded gold on last night. I am so sorry, y'all. I'm still showing you all this. I was so focused on the trade, but I'm treating this the same way that we were trading gold, right, on last night. But I didn't go live trading gold. But when I was trading gold on last night, I did not want to be greedy at all, period. I had opportunities to take major profits off the table on gold last night. And I was not trying to be greedy, like I said, but how that trade played itself out, it was like, hey, man, I'm just going to have to allow this to be what it is, you know? When you go up 1,200 and you're up like that on the trade, not all the time are you going to be at that point. You should just start like taking profits off the table, especially if you know that price is in an area where it's heavy sellers involved. Just go ahead and take profits off the table. See, look at this long here. We are approaching our first initial TP at 75.10.25. You see we're getting rejected there just a little bit around 75.08.20. Let's see if we could get a push past 75.08.20. I'm gonna drop down to a lower time frame so you can all be able to see what I'm looking at. So 75.08.20 is where we're getting rejected, but I want 75.10.25 is what we have as our first initial TP, and we're going to leave 20% of that position open. So let's see if we can continue to push past that. That's what I'm looking for. when you have this higher percentage, like I was saying, 70% of the time, 69% of the time to be exact, right? You can take this above midnight open. First initial TP finna hit. Let's see if we could get above this level so we could go ahead and take 80% off of our position here. The highest we got was 7509.25. Let's see if we could get a little bit higher than that. Go ahead and get a nice expansion past this level here. I'm gonna go ahead and move my stop into profit, probably a little bit below, above VWAP. So my stop is a little bit above VWAP. I'm right here at, if you want to know, that's 74.95. 74.95. I'll go ahead and mark that out for you on the charts here so you'll be able to see that. So we're at 74.95. 74.95. Boom. That's where we are. So we have locked in profits here. We're at 74.95. We just got filled and took 80% of our position off the table, leaving that other 20% to be able to come right here above midnight open if we're able to get continuation to push past that. So Jeremy, where is midnight open? Look, right here. We got 20% left on the table to be able to make it here on the trade, leaving that running, right? We got about 2 minutes and 15 seconds until this 15-minute candle close, but we are leaving 2 runners on the table. So we're still locking in on the trade. So those of you who want to see, I don't know, let's see if Trading View is back up. I really hate that we can't show any executions on this right now, but it is what it is when it comes to that. So this is where we're getting that sweep right here. This was a nice sweep and draw on liquidity right here. And look, we talked about this morning. Those of you who was with me this morning in pre-market, I talked about this a little bit this morning in pre-market, right?
Order filled. Order filled.
And what we talked about was I had took another 10% off my position. Those of you who wanted to know what was happening and taking place there. And changed our stop, right? So we changed our stop to 75.08. in real time. So I want to show you all this in real time because I am managing this trade while I'm trying to help you all out too at the same time. So 75.08. Here we go. So we have locked in profits here at 75.08 and taking off. Look at that push right there. Back towards midnight open is what we like right here. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. What did we say? Let's get a little bit above so we could hit midnight open and crack right above midnight open. If we could sweep midnight open, that's our final TP on the trade. Come on. Show yourself strong.
Order filled.
We went on ahead and snagged out a little bit more profits off of that. We have one contract remaining. We'll leave that one contract remaining at 75.20. Past 75.24 is what we want. $75.24. I'll give you the exact 50. $75.24.50. $75.24.50. So what just happened on today? What did I give you on today? I showed you, I gave you data saying, hey, 70% of the time when we're trading below midnight open around this type of point here, 70% of the time we trade back above midnight open. I gave you data. Not only did I give you the data, what also did I give you? I gave you an example of a liquidity sweep, right? Well, in this case, we did not have a liquidity sweep per se. What we formed was a same pattern of what we saw earlier in the week that we kind of missed, and that was the double bottom, right? So we got the double bottom again, and we was able to enter into the trade on the double bottom, and we traded right back above where we're trading, literally right up to midnight open, where we have one contract remaining to be able to take out 75.24.25 as the last target. So this was a beautiful trade. For those of you who was able to be with me in order to take it. So we're moving our profit target again into at 75.13. So 75.13. And we're finna get that break above midnight open right here.
Order filled.
There we go. That's the trade for us. We're now out of the trade. Beautiful day. We was able to rack up about 1845 on that trade here. Interesting. Interesting. To give you the data, right? I gave you the data and I also gave you the trade. And I showed you where we even moved our and this here is where we moved our last stop in the event price wanted to reverse on us. But that was a beautiful trade. Beautiful setup of what we took right there. You can't beat that. Beautiful trade. I hate that none of our executions were able to show on Trade-of-8 today. I mean on Trading View today. Which is kind of insane. So this was beautiful. This was beautiful. Those of you who took this trade, give yourself you should be happy. You should be happy. Those of you who did not take the trade, you got to eat crow. Because we gave you the data. Although I wasn't able to show you my executions, but I gave you the data. And I'll post my executions. I'll be able to show them to you all. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll post that on Twitter, and I'll also post it on TikTok so that you could be able to see my executions of my entry and when I scaled out of positions on the trade. I'll be able to show you that. I just can't show it here on TradingView, which kind of sucks, right? Because we couldn't log in into our account. But it is what it is. No problem. No problem. These are things that's, that we can't control. We can only control what we can control. So for this week right here, right? Give yourself a hand clap for $5,321 on the week. $5,321 on the week. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was good. That was good. So here, I'll download this PDF and upload this for you so you could be able to see the performance for the week and see our wins versus losses. I have no problem with showing you that. Just give me 1 second to be able to pull this up for you. But to me, this is what separates, those who talk about it versus those who actually try to be about it, right? we try our best to be about it. Okay. Let's see here. If I could open it up, I'll probably have to just open it up and show you all from that standpoint. Let's see. As I open this up, give me 1 second. See, I care enough about y'all to be able to just go into deeper detail for you, right? To be able to go into deeper detail for you. All right, so I'll pull this up right here so you could be able to see it. Total profit, $5,321. We had 30 winning trades. Our largest win was $900 this week. It's pretty cool, right? We did suffer big loss though on this week. We did suffer big loss on this week. Don't like that. We were supposed to be so locked in because we knew what was coming. But it's okay, right? It's okay. We still finished the week strong. And from this week, 54% win rate, 45% losing rate, right? But we finished above our initial target here. So that's something to be proud of. That's something to be happy about. And if you're a person that's like me, it's like, hey, man, you know, I'm not disappointed in any of that at all. At all. So let me give you all something. I want to go back on this one more time. For those of you who did not get an opportunity to be able to witness this trade live, and say you just joined me and you missed the whole entire part where we talked about what you're going to have to be able to, you could go back in the video to be able to see it. But if you missed it, I just want to be able to go over this with you one more time. Okay? If I could go over this with you all one more time, you're going to understand. So let's go into chapter 2 of our ebook. I want to go into chapter 2 of our ebook, right? And in chapter 2, I talk about liquidity sweep, the smart money trade. And when I'm talking about the smart money trade, I'm showing you this from a whole different angle than most. And when I say terms like sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity, when I'm saying these terms, you're going to have a better idea as to what it is I'm talking about specifically when we're trading. Okay? So it says retail market participants are hardwired to anchor their technical setups around clear historical boundaries. When placing long entries, retail protective stops are heavily clustered right underneath major swing lows, forming a deep pocket of sell side liquidity. Conversely, retail short orders congregate above swing highs as buy side liquidity. Algorithmic engineering. Large financial institutions cannot simply buy thousands of lots at market price without causing excessive slippage. To fulfill major buy orders, the algorithm deliberately engineers a short-term drop designed to pierce through those key retail swing lows, As retail stop losses trigger, they convert directly into sell orders, supplying the exact counterparty volume that institutional algorithms need to fill massive long positions or massive short positions. Because you can look at this from both when you want to go long and when you want to go short. I'm gonna show you an example of when we went short this week, right? When we went short this week and when we went short on gold. So let's go to the live example of that. And this is education for you all, right? I want you to be able to grasp this knowledge and this information so that you can become a better trader. That's what it's about. It's about making you better. So every day when you show it to the market, you just have a little bit more confidence within yourself and a little bit more confidence when you hit that trigger. Guys, we should have took longs on gold. Oh man. Now I'm looking at gold. I'm like, boy, man, I was sitting there thinking that this morning, like, man, there go the gold, the long for gold this morning. That would have hit and would have been beautiful. All right, so let's see exactly an example of that liquidity sweep. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you from when we went short. So you see here where we went short this week. Now let's do a replay of this. Hold on, I went back for some reason. Let's just do a replay. Right? I'm gonna go to the 5-minute chart and I'm gonna show you this on the 5-minute chart, right? Of how it's come back and sweep liquidity and then enter into the short. So the trade happened. Let's go. Here we go. So the trade happened here, right? This is where I entered into position, but I saw shorts coming because I saw the displacement here, but price was not done because it wanted to do what? Sweep liquidity, right? So if I were to drop down to the 5-minute chart, you see this? You're thinking, okay, we're primed for shorts. Let's watch how this played itself out. And then when we entered into the trade. You see how we got full displacement here, broke this level. Once we broke this level that was here, you get displacement here. A lot of people went short here and had to hold their positions if you didn't have your stop right here above this level. This is where your stop should have been if you was a person who entered into the trade here or here at a break below this level, right? Create a fair value gap. You enter at the fair value gap. You start to go short. Price starts to reverse a little bit and consolidate on you. If your stop was here, look, you would have got what you wanted. And look how it delivered for me on my entry. I just waited to be patient. And I was patient enough to be able to get exactly what I wanted on that trade. Because I waited for what? The next draw on liquidity, which meant my stop was here at this level. I enter, go into drawdown a little bit. It comes. It could have taken me out of the trade, but it didn't. It acted as if it was a what? Liquidity sweep. Whoosh. And then we trade lower. Once you're able to have those type of examples bestowed in front of you, once you're able to have true understanding of the market itself and how it's moving, you are impossible to stop at that point. Nothing can stop you. You're all the way up. Seriously. So now this morning, let's stop. Let's get a stop here on this. So if you're a person who's looking at the trade it is of what we took this morning, and you being able to see something like this, what does that tell you? That, hey, that trade did exactly what we thought it would do. The market made itself show that it was bullish this morning. I don't want to give anything back to the market to try to short anything at all, period. I just want to come back next week, take this as a dub for the week, come back next week, locked and loaded to be able to start the week trading our fundeds to the end of the month. So I hope you was able to get some good information out of today. Good information out of today. Because if you was able to get that good information out of today, this right here will help you as a trader. Let's see if we're still able to log into TraderVate. There we go. So I could show you my executions on this trade in real time. For those of you who did not get a chance to see it. So it's not allowing us to log in. Let's see. Okay, we were able to log in now. There we go. Now you see the executions on the trade in real time. So you can know men lie, women lie, but you already know one thing we don't do is lie. You heard the order gets filled, and you heard when we scaled out of our position. So this trade right here was a beautiful trade. We did 1,800 today on this trade. So we're not going to give anything back to the markets today because today is Friday. I gave you all good data, right? I told you that, hey, here we go. I'm going to go over everything one more time. For those of you who just joined the live, let's give you some intelligent news on how we play the markets here. We like to use data when it comes to us trading. This is what makes us new level traders, right? We're new level traders trading ICT concepts. We have the data to let us know that, hey, 69% of our loans are going to succeed when we are what? Below midnight open. So I gave us the data this morning and said, hey guys, we have a very high probability setup today. A very high probability setup. If you was a person who needed the full port and eval, today would have been that day for you to full port that eval to be able to get it passed because of the high probability setup of what we had on today. So we knew we had this setup here. We called this out. We said, hey, what we want to do is we want to get a touch right here at this 4-hour order block. Let's go up to the 4-hour. We're in this discount PD array. That's here. We're trading in this discount PD array. Every time we touch this discount PD array, what has happened? Price reverse. It reversed. Look, it happened here. And it happened again. We could clone this right here. So our 4-hour candle traded right here in this discount PD array. We took long positions here, and you can see it took us right there to where our initial target was. When you have next level data like that, along with a system and a model when you're trading, this is how you remain profitable and this is how you stay consistent as a trader. It's how you do it. There's no other way between that. And nobody will be able to tell you anything different. That's how we move and that's how we operate. So, and we do it live right here in front of you all in the live market. Right here in a live market. We got a sweep right here at the 4-hour orb. Soon we touched it, boom, bounce right back. Now with these bodies being here, and we didn't create any type of wicks here, that gave us even more confirmation to be strong within this what? Order block. It's an order block zone. So that's how you do it. In the chat, we do have our newsletter. So if you grab that weekly newsletter, right? Subscribe for the weekly newsletter. It's free. That'll have you in position too as well. If you go back and look at the beginning of the video, we talked about everything, right? From our precious metal trades on this week when we traded gold. We made a lot of money on gold this week, going up the market and down the market, right? But we knew the data based on what we had that was in our weekly newsletter that put us in position. Same thing here with trading indices. So you have access to all of these free resources. I advise you to go ahead and get them. Next week, our ebook will be available for you too as well. We'll start posting that in the chat coming Monday so that you can be able to grab that. And that has our whole entire system of how we trade, all the important key levels, all the important time frames. Everything is there within that ebook to be able to help you as a next level trader, as a new level trader. Being able to learn these concepts, being able to build a model and a system and have data around your trading so that you can be profitable. So that's what it's about, man. I appreciate each and every person who has tuned in, each and every person who truly wants to be able to get better, because that's what it's about at the end of the day, man. How can I consistently get better as a trader? You got to ask yourself that question. Most people are not going to ask themselves that question because they for one, they refuse to be real with themselves. I know on TikTok, I was on TikTok the other day and I was just sitting here just, when you scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and when you stay on something for a long period of time, it kind of like infiltrate itself within your algorithm, right? So I don't like to look at a whole different, like a bunch of different strategies of what people trade at all, period, because it's cool to learn different strategies, but you kind of just want to stick to your model, right? Win or lose, because you're building data for yourself. So I'm the person who kind of don't like to look at stuff like that. So my doggone algorithm done shifted because I stayed looking at somebody trade, right? And I was just watching them, and it's no knock against them at all, period. Like I really think that one day if they keep at it, right? Because at anything that you keep at going, right? Like it depends on the type of person you are. Because I do know, like in the boxing world, you do got journeymen who probably won only 1 or 2 fights their whole entire career and lost everything else, right? Like going 2-15, 2-30. I've seen this in real time. And I think the same thing could happen to a lot of people who do trade. Like at a certain point in time, if you don't get it and you have lost a lot of money, it's kind of time to like pack it up and walk away. But for those who do get it, and you start paying attention to other people who do trade and you just watch them, there's certain things that I like to look for. I like to look for a person who knows how to move through the market. Most people don't know how to shift and move through the market, especially when it comes to shifting their bias, right? How many times this week have we talked about bias shifting? Because your initial bias can be one thing. Like this morning, what did we say? We want short-term bearishness because we're looking for longs on our long setup, right? So we knew we wanted something that was like this. We wanted this, and then we wanted that move to happen. And we got that, right? We got our trade down, and boom, that move happened. That's based upon our bias because of where we were within the entire week. Our bias have been on point all week long because we look at overall of where we are at the beginning of the week. So when you go to the beginning of the week and you're looking at ES at the beginning of the week and you're like, okay, we're still stuck in this consolidation here, which is kind of hard for a lot of people to trade who is not really good traders, right? This stuff right here will expose you because it's not easy like all of this here or whatever, where we're on just this massive trend and people get lucky, right? And we on this massive trend where we're just going right up to the upside. But it starts to get difficult once you start coming into consolidation because it exposes you as a trader because you don't know how to maneuver through the market. So it's easy to push long and all your longs are succeeding. But when the market starts to consolidate, it's kind of hard for you to navigate through the market and set a bias. I've been there, and it's true. It's hard to set a bias during that type of time. It's hard. My hardest month of trading was in the month of February because we had tariffs. It was, I mean, tariffs were like crazy. But look at the consolidation of what we were in throughout that time. This here, look at that. Try trading that, okay? Before we got a breakout to the downside, and then we started turning back up. You try trading this. If you survive this in the Trump market as a trader, you could go back and tell your grandkids, like, listen, I survived one of the toughest markets ever. Because if you go back to Biden markets was just moves that were like this. Made trading a lot easier for a lot of people. People made a lot of money. People became millionaires during this time frame. But with the volatility of what we have being in a Trump market, it makes it very difficult once we start moving into these consolidation phases. And this is where your education exposes you. You want to be able to have the educational tools to be able to help you, but that's only coming within your system of trading, not just knowing all the different type of knowledge and indicators or whatever. You see, I don't trade with indicators. I don't use them. For one, they lag, and two, there's no benefit when you're able to navigate through the market. I want you to be able to learn how to be able to secure data for yourself, the right important data, so that you can be able to have the percentages of your setups, and you will know which days you should trade, which days you should stay away from the market. When the market is doing certain things, what's your percentage on when the market is trading below this key level? Being able to formulate data. This world is built around data. Google takes your data every single day. Whether it's Google, anything you subscribe to, whatever it is that you're doing, is taking your data every single day. Every day. So if you are a person who understands that, you know that when you are in this type of profession, whoever has the best data wins. And if you don't have the best data, you're not going to win. Or you're not going to win consistently enough. You may have some wins, but it won't be consistently enough to be able to make you a profitable trader. It's that word again, profitable. That means you win consistently of the time. You're not hit or miss. One day you're on, then days you're off. You're going to have some losing trades, right? Like earlier in the week, we had lost like 3,800 earlier in the week on one day. It was one day we had our worst day of the week, and we lost 3,800 on that day. 4 trades that we took. We had 4 beautiful setups earlier in the week. I think it was like Tuesday. Did that stop us? No. We took our entries, right? The entry models presented themselves, and we took the entry models, but they failed. That doesn't mean that we're bad traders. We just took our entry models, and the entry models just failed. That's all. And that's okay. I'm cool with that, right? Because all I did was do what? Collect the data. And I said, hey, next time we fall into something that's like this and we have this going on or this news going on or whichever the case may be, or when the market is moving in this type of consolidation or whichever, I will have the data to be able to do better the next time. That's a new level of thinking. That's a new level of thinking. And I want you to be able to move that way. I want you to be able to think that way. Therefore, you can come out here every single day and kill it. Rob the market of the money it is that you need to be able to put food on your family table. Because the opportunities present themselves every single day. So if you go back in this video, you will see where I talk about liquidity sweep. You will see where we gave the data, and you can see where we took the trade. And you can see how we scaled out of our position, where we took 80% off the table, then we took another 10%, and then we took our final 10% at TP. That's the type of level I want you to be on. And that's how you're going to win every single time. Nobody will be able to touch you as a trader, I promise. I promise you. So, thank you all. I hope today was a great learning day for you. I want you to have a great rest of the week. Great rest of the week. And continue to be better, man. That's what it's all about. We're going to get better next week. We're going to be on it next week, looking to be able to trade our fundeds to the end of the month so that we can secure another payout. All right? We out.